Hello everyone. I just got done doing a New Year's Eve ritual to Beelzebub here for prosperity and abundance, utilizing the Ganga, Kilim, settlement, Vermenza, whatever you want to call it, pot. It's known by many different names, but it's basically a conjure pot that is linked to these spirits. And in Kambanda, it is sometimes known as a firmament or a settlement, depending on if that person has received initiation or not. And as usual, it's sitting in a hendecagram, and the pot is not just linked to him, but it's linked to a lot of the higher-ups, is what I call them, or the deities that are the head honcho guys, basically. So these are the big guys that are kind of in charge, typically associated with the Citrak or and all that, which is why they're on top of the hendecagram, and there's a chain wrapped around it and all. So what I find really interesting about Beelzebub, and let me just kind of close in here with this. A lot of people, the average person would say that this is a Baphomet statue. This is incorrect. There is nothing about the statue that hints at being a Baphomet other than the fact that the basic shape is kind of there. There's no crown of fire, and there are no breasts. There's no female anatomy whatsoever on the statue. This is all masculine. But people tend to confuse them. Because in Kambanda, a lot of people do use what people usually view as the Baphomet to represent Beelzebub. Isha Beelzebub is the brother of Lucifer, Isha Lucifer. The version of Kambanda that I follow is associated with anti-cosmic form of Satanism, basically. Or as I would prefer the term Luciferianism, personally. It's also known as Angola version of it, basically, where a lot of demonolatry... Shit, why is this not focusing all of a sudden? God, I apologize for that. I don't know what's going on with my camera. Could be there's not enough lighting over here or something. Or it's just following the smoke or the flames or wherever. But, anyway, that's an amulet for him, Lord of the Flies there. And yes, he does have blood on him. It's cow's blood. So, when you do these rituals, a lot of times what you have to do is you have to kind of feed the statue. So you have to, dump blood on it, alcohol, whatever. So I dumped some sugar cane alcohol on there. And it's called, God, I'm gonna completely butcher this because it's It's Brazilian, you know. But it's a Cacasa Pitu. Anyway, it's sugar cane alcohol. That's something that they really like. And let's see, I kind of lost my train of thought here. Okay, so as I was saying, a lot of people within the cult of Kambanda will use a statue that is kind of similar to the Baphomet, or what we perceive as the Baphomet. Now, as I explained in a short about the Baphomet is actually a goddess that is linked to Sophia. So what people see normally as the Baphomet figure, the popular image, is actually the mayoral. Now, the difference between Ishu Beelzebub and the mayoral is the mayoral will a lot of times have female anatomy. So it will be like a regular, you know, run-of-the-mill Baphomet statue. Typically will have a crown of fire on the head, and it'll have female anatomy as well as male anatomy. With Beelzebub, he is supposed to be all black typically. He typically has red eyes on his statue like this guy here. He's pretty sinister looking deity. And he is the Canaanite god Baal. Anybody that says that Baal is completely different from Beelzebub is incorrect. Because Beelzebub was originally Beelzebub, which translated to Lord of Air. He was a sky god, and he was Lord of Storms, and the air, and he had the power to bring rain. He was a god of fertility too, which also links him with Belphegor. Now, Belphegor really is just Baal of Peor. Belphegor is a bastardized name of the title Baal of Peor. So they are one and the same. That is why I utilize both images. And this is a sigil to Baal of Peor. And this is a sigil to Beelzebub. And I just got this recently. Solstice present here. Isn't that nice, guys? This Baal of Peor sigil that is found in the book of Sitra Akra, which is the anti-cosmic path. And by the way, you can get it on Etsy if you guys want. I know he probably doesn't want me telling you where you can get that. So these spirits are pretty, they can be pretty particular. Lately, I've been getting a sense that they are not willing to be filmed during rituals. So, but anyway, there is a sigil found in the book of Sitra. There it is. And it is a phallic symbol because he was associated with fertility and he was worshipped by the Moabite people before they were exclusively people of Chemosh. So once they became exclusively the people of Chemosh, or as you guys will commonly know him as Lucifer, they actually were a polytheistic type of people, the people of Moab. And he happened to be one of their gods, and they worshipped him in the form of Baal of Peor, which is Mount Peor, where they had fertility rites. Now, because this guy can be pretty dark, and we know a lot of the biblical lore and all that, there was child sacrifice to Baal. I'm just going to say flat out, a lot of that stuff has actually been kind of misinterpreted. There were times, yes, when children were sacrificed to gods. But I would like to point out that Israel also did the same thing. There's strong evidence that they also sacrificed to Yahweh children. So, but I'm really not going to get into a whole lot of the negative, the reason why, you know, the Jews villainized. I mean, the Jews and the Canaanites are one and the same. Sorry, they are. There's archaeological evidence, you know. It's been debated back and forth. A lot of people say, well, they were just neighbors and all that. They had the same culture. They had the same customs. However, a lot of this stuff has been withheld from people because it's more profitable for religion to thrive in ignorance, basically. And what I mean by that is rabbis don't want to just come out and say that Jews and Canaanites are the same, because it would completely ruin the religion of the Jewish people in a way, because it completely defies what their origin story is. The fact that they came out of Egypt, you know, blah, blah, blah. Here's the problem. Scientists can't find evidence of that. They can't find evidence of an Exodus story. So, what I'm getting at is they are the same people, whether you like it or not. Now, this guy does have a dark history, and he is associated with blood, fire, and death, as many of these gods are. Does that mean you shouldn't work with him? You know, it's really up to the individual. There are a lot of positives to working with such a strong, powerful god as Baal. I mean, I work with both him and his enemy here, Maud. So I know they got a lot of beef together. They're really not friends, but does that mean you should be afraid to work with Baal? No. If you are squeamish about blood and you know, maybe sacrifice here and there and all that, he's probably not a good god to worship, you know, or honor, I should say. You know, when I say worship, I don't mean, you know, grovel or anything. That's not what you do on the left-hand path. So my problem with Baal for the longest time has always been that, you know, my beef with him, honestly, is, well, It says in this book that some of his sacred places are slaughterhouses. Why? Because the dark version of him is he's a destroyer of life. So mass slaughter is really sacred to him. So we're talking like Holocaust type of stuff, right? The term Holocaust means a great sacrifice. That's why animal rights people will say things like slaughterhouses are the Holocaust of today. And they really are. They're not incorrect about saying that. A Holocaust is a mass sacrifice. You know, it was termed by the Canaanites. That's where Holocaust came from, you know. Now, I know a lot of people would say, well, that's devaluing, you know, the importance of remembering what happened, you know, with the Holocaust and all that. But the fact is the fact. I mean, the truth is the truth. We subject these animals to a Holocaust system. They're, you know, massively slaughtered and butchered in the most inhumane, horrific ways possible. Dismembered so that we can sit down and eat their flesh every day. And it is a great sacrifice. So, it is because of that slaughterhouses, places of mass destruction, battlefields, you know, those are going to be places that are sacred to him. So I don't like slaughterhouses personally, so I always had to, you know, kind of contend with that myself. That's kind of a beef that I have with him a little bit, you know. It's just kind of his gruesome nature, in a way. So, I'm not vegan. I mean, but I don't, I don't eat mammals either. So, you know, I do eat some cheese. When I do purchase cheese, I get it from a no-kill dairy farm place in Pennsylvania that's run by Hare Krishnas. You know, lately, you know, when I sacrifice chickens, I eat them. So I, you know, show, you know, payment, you know, and reverence to the animal, basically. You know, so I really I don't like buying anything from a grocery store, honestly. I don't even believe in grocery stores, honestly. I wish I didn't have to shop them, period. But, you know, I eat mostly plant-based, so I'm just not 100% vegan. You know, I'm semi-vegetarian, so, but, so, you know, I've kind of had the back and forth with him about sacrificing goats, too, because I'm not interested in killing a mammal. I mean, anything bigger than a chicken, I'm just, like, not interested in it, but, damn, this is going out of focus. I'm sorry about this, guys. I don't know why this is going out of focus again. Okay. So, anyway, if you guys are thinking about incorporating Baal into your practice, I would I'll probably do a separate video, honestly, recommending books about Baal. But the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure, do you want to work with Mott or do you want to work with Baal? Because it's a little tricky working with both of them. Baal was here first, to tell you the truth. I mean, kind of in my life first, so I think Bot just kind of adjusted. But yeah, that's something that you guys are probably going to have to figure out. And then the other cool thing about this statue is it's actually loaded, which it's still kind of wet, I think. It's loaded with some stuff. There's like a... Yeah, it's still pretty wet. Damn. Yeah, that's just pretty gross. Man. Yeah, so there's some power items in there, along with the sigil, which is just a regular Galatia Baal sigil. So anyway, like any of the other deities, I mean, this guy can give you prosperity. He's also good for hexing, things like that. So let's see how this candle does. I'll keep you guys informed about this ritual. And anyway, if you like this video and you like this discussion, hit like and subscribe.